Damn, it's going down, y'all. What's up, everybody? It's me, Captain Violence. Today's real live action. You already know what it is. My elites, my viewers, my subscribers, members of my squad. I'm here to bring you Bleach chapter 662, titled God of Thunder 3. Now, this chapter is filled with something that I love. I mean, everybody's seen it. I know everyone was talking about it. Not everybody, a lot of people. Man, no. It wasn't all the angle shots, Yoda Richie, and all the sexual references in the fan service. No. I'm talking about the relevancy of this chapter. You know how I do in my reviews. No, I'm not going to spend 10 minutes or half of this review talking about the fan service of Yoda Richie. How we get it. But I'm going to talk about the important shit. Excuse my language. It's not a real world topic. But, you know, the relevancy of this chapter, the things that were revealed, the new forms, you know, other little things I'm going to go into detail with. So, believe it or not, actually, y'all know how I feel about asking Dr. LeVar, but he did something in this chapter that, no, actually a couple things that actually surprised me with, and I was like, okay, I have to give him credit. But we see Yashiro, Yoda Richie's brother, which I knew, this motivator, he down and out, he really looks poisoned and just jacked up. You see slide dripping out of his mouth open, tongue hanging, eyes all messed up. But what puzzles me is that Yoda Richie actually got hit with the gift ball. I believe that's the same technique he hit Grimjaw with. She's supposed to be the goddess of flash stuff. How do you just get hit by that? That slow moving thing. He must have really psyched her out. I mean, he is an assassin after all, but still, I mean. But we see in this chapter, this guy is hella fast. And I'm going to get into that later. Which that's the second thing he did that impressed me this chapter. But yes, this chapter did offer a lot of comedy, you know, well, a good amount of comedy, because when we see Urahara Kisuke and Yoda Richie come together, you know it's always bound to be some type of comedy in it. And it's cool, yes, but, you know, I didn't, you know, get all excited and foaming at the mouth over the things of Yoda Richie, because, let's face it, she's not real. And I know, what was that, Shingeki no Sama, that, I think, Food Wars, nah, that has a lot of fan service. I was told it's not like the way it was in the beginning. It's not like how it is now. And I was told Fairy Tail has a lot of fan service. But Bleach, every now and then you will see that. We see Rangiku and Yoda Richie. And in some cases, Orihime, those three female characters play roles in fan service. But mainly Yoda Richie. But for guys who are really into breasts, you know, Rangiku and Orihime, that's where you really want to pay attention to. But as far as skimpy clad outfits and everything for the whole nine, the ass and the breast, everything, you look at Yoda Richie. Now, yes, it did give me some giggles, you know, the way he showed up behind her and said, looks like your ass been stuffed with the deadly lethal dosage. And, you know, her kicking him in the face and everything, it went together perfectly, you know, because that's how they are. And it gives you the sense like, damn, whether she really likes perverts or she just don't like him, or maybe they did do something back in the day and she's just regretting it, you know, and he's just constantly picking at her about it and she just don't want nothing to do with him like that anymore. But the main thing that really caught my eye in this chapter was the fact that it was revealed, the revelations about why these characters are considered, you know, the war potentials or special war powers, special war prowess. I mean, they showed, what do you say, Ichigo. He was known for his latent fighting ability. Then you had Kenpachi for his fighting strength. You had Ichibe for his wisdom. Sosuke Aizen for his Ryatsu. And Urahara for his unknown means. And even Urahara was like, that's like a gross estimation, like me. Like, because he was surprised that Asuka LeVar knew about him. You know, and this guy is a war potential. And I do like how each individual person is known to be a great threat for their own individual reasons. And what seems very true is with Urahara. I mean, this motivator comes out of nowhere again and has something that helps out with the battle. You know, I do like how there's a limit cap on that. You know, how he hit her with that special drug that increased her immunity, and it was only, it can only last for 5 minutes, you know. And when he hit her with it, I mean, he injected her. It just seemed like you seen her cheek and you seen his hand, and I don't know if he injected up in there. He just touched her, but she went flying in the air, you know. But the second thing I did like that Asuka LeVar did, She was okay, 5 minutes, cool, more than enough time. She did her what's the name of that Shunko? Shunko. The Senkai Shunko, and she went to attack Asuka Nakamura. This motivator is dipping and dodging and evading it, and he just uppercuts her, do the short hook right into her stomach and dropped her ass. I'm like, damn. And keep in mind, this guy still isn't in his final holy form. To me, it is clear, you know, I do gotta give him some respect and credit. It is clear why he is one of the guards of Juhai. I mean, so she drops to her knees. She's looking in between Asuka Nakamura's legs, and you see Urahara that piece of paper saying, when I peel this off, you would transform. Because prior to that, he said, hey, let's do it. Another fan service, freaky sexual reference to the way he acts towards her. And she's like, no, I will never again, with my free will, turn to that undignified looking forms. And she said, again. So she turned to that form before. When? Why? Who knows? Maybe it was the first time during the test subject or experimental phase. Who knows? But when she goes to that form, there's a big explosion. Asuka Nakamura, he gets out the way and everything. And she takes on this form of like a thundercat. It looks like, you know, she has a tail. Her limbs are just engulfed in electricity, or lightning. And she's on all fours, and you see her hair has little spikes like little ears, reminiscent, like just symbolizing a cat. To be honest, I wasn't really impressed. I mean, it doesn't look awful, but I wasn't impressed. I wasn't like, oh, damn, she about to mess some stuff up. I wasn't like that at all. And that's where the chapter ends. But to me, as a chapter, as a whole, it offered, to me, good things. I mean, you had the comedy. You had the action. Things were revealed. I mean, I actually enjoyed this chapter. However, the way this chapter ended, it did seem like it was just leading up to predictable things. And this is what I predict. And I hate to say I love Bleach, love Kubo's work, but this is a review. It is what it is. I believe this is what's going to happen. She has that drug in her, so she has 5 minutes. She's in this new cat form. I think maybe this is going to lean towards to why she can turn into a cat. I swear, if Kubo doesn't explain why she can turn into a cat, that's going to be messed up. He's probably going to make one big new Ultimate Bleach data guidebook that's going to just tell us all the little secrets. When Byakuya did his Senkai, I remember he told Ichigo, you are the second to ever see this, or who was the first, or whatever. Same thing with this cat transformation. I think he's going to reveal everything in that Ultimate guidebook, including why Yoruichi can turn into a cat. Anyway, the prediction I predict is that with her having 5 minutes until that drug wears off, she's in her cat form. She's going to fight, of course. She's going to attack Asuka Nakamura. She's going to push his back up against the wall, whoop his ass, everything. He's going to try other things or maybe new techniques, and it's not going to work. So what is he going to do when his back is pushed against the wall? Up, final holy form. So whether her time is going to run out and she's going to get jacked up, or he's just going to jack her up before the time is up, and then that's when Urahara is going to be like, oh, damn. He's probably going to get pissed or worried to see Yoruichi get jacked up. Maybe he will help in. Maybe he'll just stay back and be like, man, I don't want to have nothing to do with her when she's in this form, so I'm just sit back and watch. And once she's out, that's when Urahara is going to jump in. And then he's going to try to take on Asuka Nakamura while he's in his final holy form. And it's not going to work. And then what's going to happen? Yeah, we're going to see that Bunkai. Finally, I bet this is what it's going to be. Urahara is going to kill Asuka Nakamura with his Bunkai. I'm calling it right now. I'm calling it right now. You've all heard it here first right here on my channel. I just know what's going to happen. And I can't wait to see. Now, and it's some say it's bad when you can predict something because you might as well, write the story your damn self. But yeah, I am very amped about seeing his Bunkai. So, what else? Let's talk about the reasons why these characters are labeled special war potentials. Now, he said Aizen for his Ryatsu, and Kenpachi for his fighting ability, and Ichigo for his latent ability. So my thing is this: Aizen, Ichigo, and Kenpachi all have massive and vast amounts of Ryatsu. Hell, we seen what Aizen did. While Motivator is still strapped in a chair, he just pushed out all his spirit energy trying to knock the damn palace out of the sky. But see, this is the thing though. I know Juha, that how they were in the shadows, so he during that time, so he could, you know, see everything during the events of Bleach, and he's well aware of Aizen. But I think that massive, yes, Aizen is powerful, but where he is now, prior to where he was before, it's like all because of that Hokyoku that he's fused with it. So it makes you wonder, that vast amount of spirit energy that he went to shoot up at the palace, would he have really been able to do that without that Hokyoku? And I honestly think him becoming stronger was because he was fused with the Hokyoku. I believe if he did not have the Hokyoku and him sitting in that chair, he wouldn't have been gotten strong like that. Especially you see the one motivator step up to him and his whole fingers just started deteriorating and disappeared. No. But Kenpachi, we see how strong he is, with and without the eye patch. Here's a fun fact for the ones who don't know, but that eye patch Kenpachi has on, that's a new eye patch. No, this is the post Kenpachi time skip Kenpachi, of course. That the new eye patch, it takes away more spirit energy. So we see how strong he is. We see what he can survive, what he can endure. We see what it takes. In Ichigo, he still has a vast amount of spirit energy due to the fact that he cannot seal his Zanpakuto's hole still. This motivator, he's at football. He knows his origin, his story. We know what he is, even though he technically doesn't have a label yet because he's mixed with everything in the series. But he does not have the capability to seal his Zanpakuto's. They're just still there. So we don't even know his command release still, technically. But some could say it's debatable. I mean, some could say you could put them in the same category. Like, all three of those characters are very powerful in terms of Latin fighting. You know, each Kenpachi with his fighting ability, Aizen with his Ryatsu, Ichigo with his Latin ability. I mean, maybe he's looking at Ichigo like, okay, due to the fact that, okay, this guy's mixed with everything, so his latent ability, that's, you know, let's put that in his own category. But what I find interesting is that he tried to convert / recruit Aizen and Ichigo. He didn't do that with Ichibe, he didn't do it with Urahara, and he didn't do it with Kenpachi. Maybe because he knew it would be damn near impossible to get through to them. Even though Aizen and Urahara, they are very smart. Even though, well, see, Aizen, he's a very good tactician. I mean, yes, he made his own form of the Hokyoku, but Urahara, let's face it, he's like the smartest character in Bleach. Some will say Mayuri, but that's up for debate, and we see how they be bumping heads, which I do like. But that does make me wonder. So now it's confirmed that Shini's not a war potential, nor is Ryukin. And I honestly thought at one point Ishida would be one because he's the successor. I mean, he's Juha's successor. He already drunk the blood, the script of A. You would think, you know, but hey, I guess not. But yeah, hats off to Asuka Nakamura, you know, in this chapter. I knew that her brother wasn't going to do anything significant, you know, and I think this is where Urahara and Yoruichi will get highly damaged to where they're going to be out for the rest of the war. That's what I think. So, yeah, that's my whole thing about Bleach. Give me your thoughts, comments, and concerns. Do you think that Aizen, Kenpachi, and Ichigo should have been put in that same category instead of divided like that? Who do you think has the most Ryatsu out of the three? And yeah, as far as the lack of the intro, and of course I'm gonna have to cut this camera off manually. So there won't be any phase of blackout transition. Of course, my computer right now is being occupied with programs, editing other videos I have lined up. I think later on I will have a video out called Shopping with Ace. You know, taking you along with me shopping. And the other video I will have up, of course, the unboxing of Street Fighter V, and then I'm going to have gameplay of that uploaded. And of course, the one video a lot of you have been waiting for, the video of my thoughts on One Punch Man, because I tried to upload that twice, but didn't succeed with that. So I'm going to get into that during that review. So yeah, let me know down below. Thank you all for watching this review. I will see you all next week when Yoruichi loses in Bleach Chapter 663. Me, Captain Voss, thanks for watching. Signing out.